Hey guys, Zerlorn here. In Valve's typical fashion, we've dropped a minor update on a random Wednesday at noon. We've split up Earn into two parts, and there's some other really cool stuff that we'll get into, but I'm going to try to highlight all the most important pieces of the patch for you guys so that you know what you need to worry about, what's good, what's bad, and what the biggest changes are. First thing is Earn, as it was before, where you turned it in and had the King of the Hill objective, is now dead, and it's kind of been split into two individual parts. The King of the Hill mechanic is still in the game, the Earn mechanic is still in the game, but they've been split up. So now, instead of dropping off the Earn to get that King of the Hill mechanic, it's now been renamed and rethemed to the Unstable Rift. The Unstable Rift doesn't require an Earn delivery, spawns every 6 to 7 minutes, depending. There's a 1 minute timer in between, and it starts at 12 minutes on the yellow lane. The comeback bonuses no longer are a set value if you're there or not. They are something that scales depending on how behind you are. And when you successfully secure it, you get those souls, but then also you'll spawn some Unstable Rift minions, which have a distinct visual piece to them. So you'll be able to tell they're stronger, they do more damage, and they're used to try to push behind after you've taken that objective. Now everybody that's in the zone is going to be revealed on the minimap, and there's no Earn turn-ins, you don't get any buffs or anything anymore, and they've increased the bounty by a bit. And the Earn has been changed as well. We've kind of reverted back to the old Earn, where it's just you pick it up and then you dunk it, except for some key differences. First off, you're no longer revealed. We've changed the timer back to the every 5 minute Earn, no longer every 6 minutes starting at 12. It's now 10, 15, 20, 25, spawning with the buffs. Same timing window as the buffs. The Earn can no longer be manually dropped, so when you pick it up, you need to be ready to turn it in, and if you get punched or killed, those are the only ways that you can drop the Earn out. You can't parry, and then also the value of the Earn will decay over 45 seconds until it is worthless. It's not worth nearly as much, and you only get souls for yourself when you turn it in, and if you turn it in, all of the souls will be deniable souls that will go up kind of like the old Earn, but it'll be 100% of the value that will go up in the air as deniable orbs. And if your teammates self-secure those, they get 50% of that value as well. And then when you get the Earn turn-in, if you're the one that turned the Earn in, you'll get those four golden statue buffs. Same with the King of the Hill mechanic, the rifts. Your comeback mechanic will scale linearly from 0 to 15% difference in net worth. This is just no longer like a set value, and it's kind of the same as before. When you're behind, you get more souls, you get more movement speed, you get more resists, all that good stuff. Those are the two biggest changes, and probably the things that you'll notice immediately if you're playing a game of Deadlock in the next couple of days. Also, this is a big change. They've changed sort of how a lot of how the economy and how all of the point unlocks are scaled. So you are getting more AP earlier on, but also a lot of the objectives and troopers in the game are worth a lot less early on in the game. So it feels a little bit different, and it's going to take some getting used to. I've played a couple of games on it. I can't really say for sure how I feel about it yet. Definitely some of those early game timings are different. For example, you're going to get your first AP on your first wave, as an example. You are going to probably you're going to have like 4 AP, I think. Yeah, you have 4 AP at the same time, or excuse me. So you're going to have 4 AP before your ultimate is unlocked, as another example. So there's a lot of those timing windows that are different. And if you're at the same souls, you're going to have more AP most of the game. The exception is that instead of the max AP being at 40,000 souls, that's been bumped up to 48,000 souls. The breakpoint for where that starts to be about the same, and where we're about the same, is like 24,000-ish, and then it's going to ramp up really hard. So it's going to be easier to get your first 3 max abilities, or 2 max abilities and 2 abilities with 2 points in them each. But it's going to be significantly harder to get that full maxed out build. It's about 8,000 souls harder, so it's a little bit harder to get that full maxed out build. So the scaling and the timetable of the game has changed a little bit. Some other big general stuff for the game that's going on. Health has been reduced by a little bit. All ults across the board have had their cooldowns nerfed by about 15%. Rejuve has been nerfed by minutes from 4 to 3. They have changed how the respawns work a little bit, so you're going to have longer respawns earlier on in the game. Reduced, like I said before, all of those bounties on those objectives. Reduced first blood bounty, reduced base kill bounty, and reduced the trooper bounty. But they kind of scale up. They scale up a little bit more after the 20-minute mark, and then the kill bounty is the same later on in the game. Trooper bounties have swapped around, so before it was 60% was on the floor and 40% would go to be denied, and now we're back to a 50-50 split, which was what it was before. The dash jumps are buffed a little bit. They removed a couple of jump pads. They're the ones on top of the double sinners rooms. That will pretty much only matter for getting away from trying to steal doubles. Besides that, it's not that big of a deal. I think those are like the biggest general gameplay ones. There's been a couple of items that are changed. Scourge was nerfed quite a bit. Probably isn't something that you're going to buy 10 of anymore in a game. It's still pretty good on spirit characters, but it's much less good on a lot of those characters that were just buying Scourge as their only like spirit item. Toxic bullets got buffed a bit, probably a little bit better. The item is still kind of meh. Heroes, there's a lot of hero changes. I think the highlights here are probably Billy got some good, much needed nerfs. Celeste got some buffs. So if you're a Celeste player, I think Celeste is going to be probably much more playable. Big holiday nerfs. The barrel's velocity is a lot slower and the spirit scaling is worse, so holiday will probably be less of a big problem. Couple of buffs here and there for characters. Mina got some nice buffs. Mina might be back in. I think the biggest things are Paige got some big changes, so Paige's bookworm does a lot more damage. Rem got some nerfs, which were probably needed. Shiv got changed a bunch, so now the only ability that Shiv has that scales with spirit power is his knives. Now his Slice and Dice deals fully light melee damage. There is no spirit damage component whatsoever. So melee is more important. I think tankier stuff on Shiv is going to be more important. And I think those are the biggest highlights. A lot of changes, though. I recommend you go through and read them if you want more in-depth stuff. But I think the biggest takeaways should be that the new Urn, King of the Hill stuff, pretty cool. Some hero adjustments, but I don't know that they're going to change anything that much. I think probably the biggest loser is Holiday, and I think maybe the biggest winner is Paige, maybe? Paige might be playable now. Paige or Drifter. One of the two are probably the biggest winners. So those are probably the most important parts of the patch. Hopefully this was a nice quick rundown of all the most relevant things going on for the patch, so that you guys can be ready going into your next Deadlock games. If you enjoyed the video and want to see more stuff like this, I would love it if you would subscribe, leave a like, all that good stuff, and then check me out on Twitch and leave me a follow there. I appreciate you. Have a good rest of your day.